Good morning, students. In the previous video we have seen the classification of the inflation as well as the causes of inflation. Now in today's video lecture we are going to see the effects of inflation. See, inflation is a situation which is not good for the economy. It has its effect on the different sections. Its impact is seen on the production, its impact is seen on the distribution and the other. When we talk about the effects of inflation on the production, these are the different effects. See, what happens due to inflation, the general price level or the average price level increases. As a result of that, what we find, the people have to spend the more money for buying the same goods and service. As a result of this, the people's saving and individual saving is also reduced, and it has the different effect on the economy or the society as a whole, because one thing is linked with the other. It has the cyclical effect. Now see, when we talk about effects on production, so the first one over there is the diversion of resources. Resources are diverted. See, during inflation, when the prices of the one good is increasing, as a result of that, what is observed, the producers start producing those goods whose prices are increasing, So the resources are diverted towards the production of those goods which demand are more. So in this way, the resources are diverted. Sometimes it happens that there may be the essential goods, and the essential goods production is also hampered because the resources are diverted. The second one is their adverse effect on the savings. As I told earlier, see, when the goods and services prices are increasing, so the people have to spend the more money for buying the same goods and service. Their money is, the expenditure of an individual increases, and as a result of that, the saving is reduced. This reduced saving is also having the effect on the capital formation, because what happens, once saving is accumulated by the banks for the capital formation, by the banks, basically the capital formation takes place. So saving is reduced. As a result of that, we find that the capital formation also has the adverse effect. The next one is there, encourages hoarding. See, when the trader or the businessman finds that there is an increase in the price level of the certain goods or the bunch of goods, they start resorting to hoard such commodities. And when the goods are hoarded, the scarcity is developed in the market. It further pushes the price level to go up. So the hoarding is encouraged during inflation, and as a result of the hoarding, the price level further increases. The profitability of the trader, but naturally it increases, but the hoarding has the adverse effect on the society as a whole. Black marketing is there, adulteration takes place, artificial scarcity is developed. All these have the adverse or the bad effects on the society. The next one is there, fall in the quality. See, what happens, the goods are manufactured just to meet the growing demand or the increased demand. So here the concentration of the producer is towards the quantity of the goods to be produced and to be sold in the market. They neglect the quality of the goods, because just to earn the more profit, the individual sells the individual produces the more goods rather than he has the focus on the quality. So the quality of the goods and services deteriorated, or the quality fall down. The next one is there, discourages foreign capital. See, when the purchasing power of the domestic currency is decreasing, as a result of that, it has also the effect on the foreign capital. The foreign capital, the inflow of the foreign capital to a certain extent is reduced. So it discourages the foreign capital. These are the effects on the production, diversion of resources, adverse effect on saving, encourages hoarding, fall in the quality, discourages foreign capital. Now, the effect of inflation is also seen on the distribution. As we can see, these effects is on the debtors and creditors, wages and salary earners, fixed income group, business community, investors and the farmers. See, debtors are considered as the gainers, whereas the creditors are considered as a loser during inflation. How it happens? See, the debtor had taken the money at a time when the purchasing power of money was more, but he is returning the money at the time when the purchasing power of money is less. So, the debtor in this respect is gainer, whereas when we talk about the creditor is the loser. The same happens, see, the adverse happens in the case of the creditor. The creditor had given the money at the time when the purchasing power of money was more. The creditor had lent the money at a time when the purchasing power of money was more. But he get his money back at the time when the purchasing power of money is less. So, in this respect or in this sense, it is said debtors are the gainers and the creditors are the losers. The next one is there, the wages and the salary earners. It is said the wages and the salary earners are the worst hitter during inflation, since we find that the wages do not increase as the price level is increasing. Similarly, the wages and the salary, both these things do not increase as the prices of the goods and services. The people get the limited income in the form of the wages and the salary, and the prices are more. As a result of that, the wage and the salary earners suffer a lot during inflation, since the purchasing power of the money is less. They have to spend the more money for buying the goods and services, and as a result of that, the saving is reduced. Now the next one is there, fixed income group. When we talk about the fixed income group, who are the people who come into this category? These are the pensioners, similarly the interest earners, the rent earners. Just like the wage and salary earners, these fixed income groups also suffer a lot. They get a stipulated fixed amount monthly basis or some other basis we can see, but the prices are rising rapidly, and as a result of that, these people have to spend more money for buying the same goods and services. So in this respect, it is said the fixed income group as well as the wages and the salary earners are the losers during the inflation. The next one is there, the business community. The business community, the traders, industrialists and others. They are considered as the gainers. They are considered as the gainers during inflation. They are considered as the gainers during inflation since the business earns the more profit due to the rising prices. The next one is there, the investors. When we talk about the investors are of two types: shareholders and the debenture holders. Debenture holders, or which can say the bond holders. Now see, investors. Shareholders, again they are of the two types. One is the equity shareholder and the other one is the preference shareholders. In the case of the equity shareholders, they are the gainers because due to the higher profit, they also earn the more dividend. But the equity shareholders normally suffer. But the preferred shareholders normally do not get the much profit because their profit or their dividend is fixed. As a certain percentage, they get the fixed dividend. The next one is their debenture holders. Again, just like the preferred shareholders, the debenture holders are not the gainers, but they get the fixed interest. The next one is there the farmers. It is said the farmers are the gainers because whatever the cost of production, the cost of production is not cost of production, or to which we can say the cost of cultivation. The cost of production and the cost of cultivation is not as much high as the prices of the goods. So in this respect, it is said the farmers are also the gainers. So if we talk about the effects of inflation, effects on production, diversion of resources, adverse effect on the savings, encourages hoarding, falls in the quality, discourages the foreign capital. Now see, other effects. Under the other effects, the first one over there is the government. The government also faces the the government also faces the negative effects, or we can say negative effects, because the people agitate against the higher prices. The next one is there the balance of payment. It again has the adverse balance of payment situation. What is balance of payment? Balance of payment is actually the statement of country's revenue as well as the payments. Whatever the receipts a country get and whatever the payments it made, the statement is called the balance of payment. So during inflation, since the prices in the domestic country or the domestic prices are more, as a result of that, the import of the different goods from the foreign countries increase, and as a result of that we find the money flow is more and the export is less. As a result of that, the inflow of foreign capital or inflow of the foreign money is less, and we find the imbalance, and that imbalance is called the adverse balance of payment. So during inflation, the balance of payment position is also not favorable for the country. The next one is the collapse of the monetary system. That increase in the price level, rapid increase in the price level actually disturb the entire monetary system of the country, which is again not good for the economy. Social effects, society suffers a lot because of the higher price level. So social effect is there, the political effect is also there, the negative political effects. We find that the different political parties also agitate against the government because of the increase in the general price level. So again, the political system of the country is also having not the favorable effects of inflation. So today what we have seen, the effects of inflation on the production, distribution and other effects, and in the next video lecture we will see the control measures. These control measures are the monetary measures, fiscal measures, direct measures and the other measures. Thank you.